my dear digital citizens, I find myself compelled, nay, duty-bound, to illuminate the intricacies of this most peculiar and oft-overlooked ideological migration.
Or you said that Hasan doesn't care about forming political alliances. What do you think about his take here on uniting with former DGGers? What?
We'll actively recognize that perhaps there is an alternative vision here. There's
2 days ago.
Thank God. Okay? And I think people like this will...
Lib and former D viewer. Probably gonna get cheer for the loan, but yeah, I'm a Lib and I used to watch D. Don't know if his name is allowed here, but I stopped after the lawsuit. Just wanted to say, I'm completely starting to get the America hate. Better late than never, I guess. I never idolized Dems, but I had more faith in them than I should have. Recent events with Trump's admin and Dems inaction have really soured me, though. Don't really know the point of this post. I'm going to say that there's libs that are starting to relate more with you guys, even in D-Sub. We're not going to agree on everything, but I'd like us to be more united, especially with where things are currently heading. I would certainly take your guys' preferred candidate over any conservative. Don't know about that, Chief. But... cute.
I think people like this will mostly recognize that once liberals are not actually, responding in the ways that they thought they would, more people will actively recognize that perhaps there is an alternative vision here. There is a different way to go about it. And it's not designed around pure fight for liberals in the way that liberals like Destiny or even now Ethan presented as. People...
I love the... You guys know that we can have opinions and stuff that aren't just about spiting you guys, right? Okay. Thanks, Chief.
Literally think.
Thanks for clarifying that for us.
I just don't think that I can make coalitions with liberals or whatever. Like, I have always been very reasonable. That's why Bad Empanada and many others call me.
I have always been very reasonable. I can make coalitions with liberals. This guy shot every liberal harder than any other person alive. Are you serious? Holy, this guy was off. He was sitting with our blue senators in Georgia because they weren't leftist enough for him.
Phony or, a centrist. The reason why they call me that is because I understand that for a lot of people's starting points, their worldview is guided by their social conditioning. And of course, they're at best going to be liberal. Okay? Many people here started off as liberals. Many people here also started off as basically Republicans. Some even alt-right, as a matter of fact.
Wait, this guy barely even posted my subreddit. So it seems like he posted this after he posted in Hasan's subreddit. And then... oh, he posted once here. Oh, his other account got banned for making an Italian plumber post. Maybe he did on his other account more. And then he posts a lot about kidney stones and dopamine detoxing. I wonder why this post got removed. Hobbit took it down. Midterms? I mean, they are a long time away, but rip. He got sniped. Are Hasan's days as a streamer numbered? I feel like he is being hammered on all sides by big streamers in ways I've never seen before. Is his core audience being chipped away at? I mean, his audience should always technically be safe. The biggest issue with Hasan is just whether or not his ego can handle it. That's the thing that I think hurts him the most, but...
I recognize that. This is a very welcoming community to individuals with different backgrounds and different ideological...
Oh my god. How could he just lie like this? Really? Does his own audience even buy that?
This is a very welcoming community to individuals with different backgrounds and different ideological beginnings, okay? I do understand that there are a lot of left spaces that are a little bit more hardened, but this is not one of them, okay? And yes, I will not spend a good deal of time making enemies of other leftists who I might have disagreements with or other liberals.
As he watches hit piece after hit piece of me in its entirety on his channel, okay.
Who I might have disagreements with.
As he never brings up Vosh's name a single time ever because he probably still thinks Vosh is like a fucking debater. Like, say what you want about not aligning with me or working with me, fine, because he's got hurt feelings. I get it, sure. But why not Vosh?
They attack me relentlessly. Ironic because I'm currently talking about Destiny here. But this is a rare sight, normally, no matter how much his community might behave as though it's not the case.
Wait, he's watching a hit piece of me right now as he's describing this. What the
case? It's usually a rare sight, and the big difference for me, at least, talking about him, hold on. If my food's here. The reason why I started talking about him and decided to no longer do the no free clout principle, which was to, never really cover
there you go.
Left-wing, liberal, any sort of like pro-Democrat content creator for the most part, was because I didn't give it. I don't think it's productive.
I don't think it's productive to collaborate with other people on the left. It wouldn't help for organizing. It wouldn't help for fundraising. It wouldn't help for viewership. It wouldn't help for promoting other content creators to help them grow more, to help create a richer space for people to thrive and make content in. I
think it's productive to talk about these people. I think it's infinitely more productive to spend all of my time and resources and effort on the right. Okay? And in terms of my criticisms,
for what greater tragedy exists than the lament of a forsaken disciple, wandering the barren wastes of political discourse, shunned by their former idol, only to be ensnared by the siren song of a rival kingdom? Today, we chronicle such an exodus, the departure of a once loyal devotee of the Destiny Order, now stumbling into the waiting arms of Hasan Piker's ideological safe haven. Let us begin with the inciting incident, an artifact of disillusionment, a relic of self-doubt, the Reddit post that heralded the defection of a wayward soul. Here lies the tale of an individual whose faith in their chosen champion, the grand master of debates, the wielder of rhetorical supremacy, Destiny himself, was shaken by lawsuits, political betrayals, and a slow, creeping realization that perhaps, just perhaps, the world was not as it seemed. This individual, whom I shall henceforth refer to as the apostate, once stood firm upon the battlements of Destiny's intellectual fortress. They gazed upon the battlefield of political thought, weaponized with empirical evidence and an arsenal of cutting wit, prepared to vanquish the benighted horde of ignorance. And yet something happened. A seed of doubt took root, a whisper in the wind. A lingering question: was I fighting for the right cause? The apostate's faith wavered. And in that moment of hesitation, the wolves descended. Enter Hasan Piker, self-proclaimed revolutionary, Twitch's most eminent himbo socialist, the grand vizier of left-wing clout. A man whose mansion serves as both his citadel and his cross to bear. For is it not the burden of every self-avowed socialist to justify the number of zeros in their real estate portfolio? It is within this opulent sanctuary that he extends his hand, soft from a life without manual labor, yet firm in its promise of acceptance, to the lost, the abandoned, the politically estranged. And so, with rhetoric as smooth as a velvet-gloved fist, Hasan makes his pitch. Come, weary traveler, lay down your burdens. I shall provide solace where your former leader did not. Now, what does Destiny do upon reading this treacherous post? Does he mourn? Does he curse the heavens for such betrayal? No, he does what any grand master of logic and reason would do. He reacts. For what is a Destiny stream if not a public tribunal, a reckoning in which words become weapons and the foolhardy find themselves skewered upon the pikes of their own contradiction? He reads the post, he scans the defector's history, he pieces together the psychological tapestry of this lost disciple. Ah, he muses, so you were here in my domain until the lawsuit. And now you find yourself in Hasan's subreddit speaking of unity. Curious, very curious. And so begins the great unraveling, a forensic autopsy of ideological betrayal. Destiny dissects the apostate's words with the precision of a neurosurgeon. What is this newfound understanding of American imperialism? Was it not I, Destiny the Unyielding, who once whispered these truths into your ears? And now, as the Dems flounder, you claim to have seen the light. A convenient epiphany indeed. It is here, dear viewer, that we must acknowledge the theatricality of it all. For is this not the grandest drama? A tale of loyalty and schism, of persuasion and propaganda, of cults of personality warring for the souls of the politically unmoored. Destiny watches as Hasan, ever the charismatic recruiter, extends his olive branch not as a gesture of peace, but as an act of conquest. This is a very welcoming community, Hasan declares. Destiny chokes, he sputters, he howls, welcoming. The irony is thick enough to spread on toast. For what, dear viewer, is a Hasan Piker, should if not an unforgiving gauntlet where heretics are excommunicated with the swiftness of a medieval inquisition? What, pray tell, is a Hasan Piker discord, if not a cathedral where ideological purity is both scripture and sacrament? And yet the apostate believes. They believe because they must believe. They have burned the bridges to their former homeland. They have renounced their Destiny citizenship. What choice remains but to pledge fealty to a new order? And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the real tragedy. The apostate was never free. They merely exchanged one doctrine for another, one firebrand for another, one messiah for another. For to exist in the Twitch political ecosystem is to be a pawn in a never-ending game of digital feudalism, where lords and vassals wage war not with swords, but with discourse, where banners are raised not on battlefields, but on YouTube thumbnail. Destiny knows this. Destiny sees this. And so he reacts, not with anger, not with sorrow, but with the weary amusement of a man who has seen it all before. "Ah, another one lost," he murmurs, shaking his head. Until, of course, Hasan disappoints them, and then where will they go? Where indeed, for this cycle is eternal. The apostate today is the prodigal son of tomorrow. The exile of one community is the refugee of another. And the great Twitch kingdoms, Destiny's analytical citadel, Hasan's socialist stronghold, will forever war over the hearts and minds of the disillusioned, the betrayed, the ones who, deep down, just want to belong. And so we close the curtain on this act, but rest assured the play will continue. The names may change, the allegiances may shift, but the performance remains the same. Destiny shall critique, Hasan shall recruit, and the lost shall wander, forever seeking a home that does not exist.